Hey Gators and sports fans, get all your Gator talk, news, analysis, and opinions on the Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning podcast. Find us on your favorite podcast platform or watch us on Facebook Live between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. every weekday. Pod Up, because we are Gator fans. So say it's great to be a Florida Gator.
Good morning. Welcome to a Wednesday edition of the program, Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. Large enough to serve you, small enough to care. If you missed it last night, Gators lose 5-0 to the semis. I think they only got like 2 or 3 hits. Not a good outing. They have to prepare for the Vandy boys this weekend in Nashville. Very good baseball program. We'll see what happens there. Last night also in sports, I need somebody to explain it to me because it's so damn confusing to me. I don't know why I'm so confused, but the play-in tournament, I thought if you lost, you were out, but if you can lose and still get in. So let's go to the Untitled Chapter hotline, and we're joined by our also, don't forget today is the weekly word with Trent. We're joined by JC. JC, can you explain the play-in tournament to me?
No, I'd love to. I wish I could. I want to be able to. Now, so you're telling me the Cleveland Cavaliers and the LA Clippers?
They're still alive.
Okay. Well, I don't get it. I mean, I know the Celtics are going to play Brooklyn. That's not a very
right.
Good
if I'm not mistaken, there were 4 teams that played today, 4 to play tonight. I mean, 4 that played yesterday. If you win your game, I believe you automatically get into the real playoffs. So the Timberwolves who won and the Nets who won, they're automatically in. So now I want to say, I think the Hawks, so the Eastern Conference is the Hawks playing the Hornets tonight. Whoever wins that, I think automatically is in the tournament. And then the loser of tonight's game will play the Cat. I really don't know. I'm making up stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you. We got to have an NBA expert on here. I know some of our listeners. I just don't understand it.
Or what we could do is just wait until they get going in the playoffs and then see who's in there and care about it then. But I understand your frustration. I do. Let me tell you,
Hang on a second. Andy says here on Facebook Live, number 7 plays number 8 to qualify for the 7th position. Number 9 plays number 10, and the winner of that plays the 7-8 loser for the 8th spot. Okay, so I assume the game last night between the Nets and the Cavs was the 7-8 game. So that automatically, who won that, automatically gets in. The Cavs now have to play the winner of the 9-10 game. So I guess whoever wins in the 9-10 game tonight or loses, they don't get another game.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I would not think that to be the case either. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm not smart enough to figure it all out. So
okay. Are you smart enough to figure out college football, though? I mean, I've heard Dabo Sweeney get on there talking about how college football needs to be blown up. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Can you tell me what that means, QB? What does that mean?
I've not heard Dabo's comment, so you have to fill me in.
So, yeah, I mean,
that's all he said was it just needs to be blown up.
It needs to be blown up. The whole thing needs to be blown up.
Well, he's probably referring to the transfer portal, how it's crazy. And obviously he's not a fan of the NIL, and I get it.
Well,
I talked to, God, where was I yesterday? Can't remember where I was yesterday. Anyway, I was talking to a couple of college coaches, and they can't stand it, dude. They can't stand it because it's so out of control.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like QB, the schools, if we are truly going to have the haves and the have-nots, right? And at some point, you may get, I don't know, we may have 60 football teams, and the rest of them are going to go away or play in their own little subdivision world. Because it sounds like to me the schools that are going to be able to survive this are the ones who will have a collective that basically funds their operation on the field, meaning players, paying players to come there. There's just no way you're going to be able to compete unless right now you have a way of attracting players. If you think Scott Frost would have it, he's got something like 30 or 40 guys out of the portal that are now at Nebraska. He would have zero chance if he was going to have to recruit a freshman from high school or a JUCO player to save his job. He's basically got Casey Thompson from Texas, another guy from Florida State playing quarterback right now. He's got a bunch of other players. And listen, his job is on the line. He's hanging by a thread, and he's got to win football games. They had 58,000 fans at the Nebraska spring game. And this is a complete redo of the roster. And I think we'll see that at Florida. The reasons why I bring that up is because Billy's going to have to get into, as you say, the transfer portal and redo the roster almost, it feels like. There are 1,000 players in the transfer portal right now, QB, that don't have a place to go. And that I don't know if that's because they're not very attractive or it's just nobody's gotten to them yet or they haven't been able to market themselves. But that's what it's turning.
Yeah, so here's the transfer portal. I understand people don't like it. I prefer the transfer portal over NIL any day of the week. The transfer portal works both ways. You just talked about all those kids sitting in the portal.
Yeah.
Where those it could be those kids chose to go into the portal, or the coaches didn't tell them to go in the portal, but kind of said, "Look, you probably aren't going to play here. If you want to go in the portal, we'll do whatever we can." It's a way college coaches can cut athletes, and you're going to see that here at Florida, in my opinion. But then again, the Florida fans, if you really think about the best players that Florida has had in the last couple of years that are in the NFL now, came from the transfer portal. John Grenard, Trayvon Grimes, Van Jefferson, they're all portal guys. So it's just, I have no problem with the portal. I have a problem with NIL. Because that's what's going to ruin. And people can sit here and tell me, get used to it. That's the way. I understand that's the way it is. But if you can't govern it and put a cap on it, it's ridiculous. I saw a clip of this kid doing a 7-on-7 out in California. This kid is supposed to be getting $7 million from Tennessee. He looks like he's got a good arm. But JC, I can go right now at almost 52 years old and go in 7-on-7 and look good. Because ain't nobody coming to hit me. So my point is, for them to give a kid that kind of money who is never proven and may never, think about this, may never take a snap for the Tennessee Volunteers is just ridiculous.
But QB, the university is not giving that money to the kid. It is a collective. And that is what I'm wondering is, now, I just heard from a guy I played golf with yesterday that the University of Florida found, or some major benefactor just threw $12 million into
12.6 you have cocked, but this has nothing to do with money going. This is for facilities.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with paying players.
Right. But that's the example that I'm using, is that somebody here or somewhere in the state who loves the Gators need a collective, is what I'm going to try.
They have one. It's called the Gator Collective.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
They were actually the first school to have one.
So the schools are going to have to find these groups that want to help basically fund their rosters, is what I'm getting.
But just think about what you just said. How dumb is that?
Well, it's right. Well, it's there's
so my point is, here's my point. So JC, let's just say you just made a bunch of money in the stock market. $10 million today. And you know what? I want to give this to the University of Alabama. And there's a kid out of Gainesville, Buchholz, that I think that Alabama wants. And I'm going to make sure he goes to the University of Alabama. Okay? He gets on campus. You just basically paid for this kid to be an Alabama Crimson Tide football player.
I know.
What if he ain't good enough and Nick Saban doesn't play him?
Yeah.
Or you, as the guy who just stroked that check, going to be pissed off that your guy that you sent to them ain't playing.
I mean, there's going to be buyer's remorse all over the place in college football.
No, I know that. But what is your thoughts towards Nick Saban going to be? Is it going to be, look, you play my guy, or I'm not giving you any more money to help your program?
I mean, I would be talking with Nick Saban, of course, before I wrote any checks, QB. And I don't know if that means I would be talking to him to play football, or if I would be talking to him to say, how can we help? And he says something like this or that. You know, I don't know. I'll tell you, you know, you don't really know how these kids are going to pan out, whether you pay them before they come or not. You know, Hendon Hooker at Tennessee was not a Josh Heupel guy. He was a Jeremy Pruitt guy. And Josh Heupel's guy was Joe, whatever his name was. Joe, the other kid that ran out of bounds.
Good for Michigan.
Yeah, that ran out of bounds against Ole Miss. That was Josh Heupel's guy. And, you know, he was the coach at Tennessee that got the Spurrier Award and all this other stuff. But Jeremy Pruitt was the guy who brought in Hooker, who is their quarterback. It's just really crazy. But really, this is what I think Dabo's referring to and why I brought it up. And that means that when you say something like Florida is devoid of talent, they're lacking talent. I can see it on the practice field. We've got to do something to get players in here. That means to me, or in this current world, that the collective needs to get it moving.
Well, because let me back up.
Because everybody else is doing it.
That's going to be an important part of it. But the biggest issue that we've had here, and it's been documented, is that the last staff was not into recruiting like Billy Napier. Billy Napier has a plan, but also Billy Napier was not coming to the University of Florida without that plan being in place, giving what he wants in that damn football facility. Is that football facility going to sign a 5-star? We don't know. But if you're the only big-time program in America that doesn't have one, you can't compete. It's that simple.
And I will tell you that we know this, but we also know that if you don't have a collective, that there's not going to be a lot of competing as well, because the other schools do. So I'm just curious if you know any rich guys that you talk to in the circles of Florida football that are talking about this kind of thing, you know, collective.
Yes, and most of the people that I talk to that are former players don't like it, because they're on this. They look at it from their standpoint, because we've seen so many players that have come into schools under scholarship that never played. And here's the thing that really the kicker is. And I used this example for you earlier in the year, JC. What if Steve Sarkisian has some Hollywood producer out there, not Steve Sarkisian, Lincoln Riley, okay, had some Hollywood producer says, you know what? That Bryce Young kid, he's from the state of California. Why is he playing in Alabama? Why don't we give him $10 million to come play quarterback for the Trojans? Okay, how would you feel about that?
I feel sad.
Right, because that's how dumb it is.
Well, yeah, you bring up Lincoln Riley. We know what's going to happen there, right? You know that there's going to be 50 new players there from
well, they already have. So here's the schools that have signed the most kids. Gosh, and I'll have Brent on tomorrow, but he said it last week. I want to say there's 2 schools. I think it was in the SEC. I know Ole Miss has signed the most kids out of the portal of anybody. Ole Miss. And there was one other SEC school. I can't remember who it was. Or maybe it was Southern Cal. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Alabama's only signed 4. And they got a Vanderbilt lineman, a senior, who's one of their better players that played at Vanderbilt coming now. They had a couple of other guys. But
they got your starting tailback this year is going to be from Georgia Tech.
That's right. Georgia Tech. I mean, and so and there's a couple of others, but I think they've only got 4 guys. 4 guys.
I got great listeners here because they listen more than I do. The top 2 schools in America that have signed the most players out of the transfer portal: Ole Miss and LSU.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Dan says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Melton Law, Napier had a great response about the NIL, about the opportunity for the 99% of the players that don't go to the NFL. No, I have no problem with kids getting paid to sign autographs, signing jerseys, going to the local establishment, getting free food, a car deal or whatever. But when you just flat out give kids $2-3 million and they may never, ever play at your school, it's just ridiculous to me. Nobody will ever change my mind about that. Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't know why, you know, Quinn Ewers got any money. He didn't play, and now he's in Texas. He's not even.
And we really don't know if he actually ever got that money. It was just reported. You see what I'm saying? We don't know if he got $3 million from whatever he got it from. So anyway, I don't know what Dabo was talking about, but I don't like it, and nobody's going to change my mind. And these people that sit here and question me, whether it's on Facebook, text, or whatever, that I'm upset because I didn't get paid in college that's baloney. But here's the difference. Here's the difference. Here's the difference. So JC.
Good.
Okay, I was fortunate to be the SEC Player of the Year as a sophomore and a junior, meaning I had another year of eligibility.
Yeah.
Would I probably gotten a lot of money? Yes. But guess what? I'd already performed. Same way with Danny Werfel. Same thing with Rex Grossman, Tebow. These kids actually have done something. Just a kid coming out of Lake Gibson High School, you don't know if he's ever going to be able to play or not.
The NCAA clearly has a lack of leadership issue going on right now. And, the Kansas City Jayhawks winning the the NCAA basketball championship, the Kansas City Jayhawks, good for them. But that's what I'm talking about is when, you got people that don't even know, who won it and running the thing. It just seems like the NCAA has to get some sort of leadership going to try to control what's happening to college athletics, if they can. I don't know if they even can anymore. I think the bottle is open and the genie is out. So it's going to have to come from the athletic directors and the presidents and the coaches, and they're going to have to decide what do they want to what kind of league do they want to have, what kind of organized sport do they want. Dabo's clearly frustrated with what's going on, and he's got just as many resources as anybody else over there.
Well, I think Dabo's thinking the same way I think.
Right.
Because so you just think about this, Jason. I don't follow recruiting enough, but we know there's so many guys that never pan out. I go back to Coach Spurrier's days when he was here because I can remember the quarterbacks. He got the number one quarterback in America named Bobby Sablehouse. I think he remember transferred after year one. So what if you give him $5 million to come here and then he leaves? I don't understand it. Nobody's ever going to make me believe in it either. Like I told you, I think the collectives where guys get appearances to go here and there, put some dollars in their pockets, I have no problem with.
Well, you're talking about
you to sit here and do what Texas A&M did is damn ridiculous.
Well, you're talking about two different things. You're talking about the choice of a group of people to pay money, and then you're talking about whether or not a kid can play. What those people pay and their ability to manage their money and send it to the right or the wrong players is really on them. The school has very little to do with it. The school just wants to have kids come and play football there, right, and go and get an education. So, these collectives are the ones who have to make these judgments on who to send money to, and whether it works out or not. That's all buyer beware kind of stuff. That happens with everything in a free market. But these kids are just going to go where their dollars lead them, it seems, and that's kind of what we're talking about. I think that frustrates you the most is that it's going to only really enable a few schools to truly benefit, while the rest of the country or the league or the college football world is going to be periled. It's you are going to have the haves and the have-nots again, even in an even bigger, with an even bigger situation. Because listen, QB, you can't convince a kid who's going to get this from A to try to go to B, even though he wants to go to B.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you got to remember too. You can only sign 25 a year. So, it's not like one school can get every one of them. But if it was governed, and I guess where I have a problem with it is paying kids. And like you said, it's not my money. It's not your money. It's some damn big billionaire's money. Mm-hmm. But it's just ridiculous to me that they're going to pay somebody that's not a proven commodity.
Well, what do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean 25 can only sign? Mel Tucker redid his entire roster.
No, you can only sign your signing class each year is only 25.
Signing class, but I know that this also applies to the transfer portal too, as you know. So, I mean,
right, but what I'm saying is you can only have 85 scholarships. So if you have 85 guys on your roster and then John Cornell comes available and you really want him, you got to find a way to cut one of those kids to give him a scholarship. And so anyway, it's a good topic. It's something that, I mean, it is what it is, but trust me, the college coaches know what they have to do. They do not like it. I know several that have gotten out of college coaching because of this. But it's out of control. And here's the crazy thing. I did see the collective at FSU has some booster giving $5 million a month to that collective for them to do whatever they want with the money. Right. I don't know the Gator Collective. You know, you can be a member of the Gator Collective if you want for $6 a month or something like that, JC. But the money that Hugh gave to the school has nothing to do with the collective. Right. It goes to Gator Boosters. Gator Boosters has nothing to do with paying players.
Okay, the school cannot do that. But that was his choice. He could have done it the other way too. He could have tried another way. You could have. Well,
he could have given the Gator Collective $12 million and then said spend it how you want. But he did. That's right. He's going to have his name on a suite or whatever here and that facility. So, but that to me, and somebody else on here on Facebook Live said they were surprised that that's the biggest gift ever to the University of Florida, $12.6 million. Does that surprise you?
No, I mean, maybe it does. I haven't really kept up with that, but I do know the money is flowing freely. Now, that could change if the economy goes into recession or things change. I mean, we've got to remember, too, there's a macro picture here. Money has been flying around the system in this country for 5 to 10 years, and it's going to get tighter. What I mean by that is mortgages are going to slow down, interest rates are going to go up, things are going to change economically that could slow down some of this ridiculous spending.
Bruce Ogre State Farm Office is a team of dedicated insurance professionals ready to help life go right with the right insurance options for you and your family. Visit ogreinsurance.com or call 352-240-1779. Speaking of JC on the Titan More Hotline, we have Trent Whittemore with his Wednesday's weekly word with Whit after the break. Hey, did you see? I don't even know what it's about, but it was on. You know, I get up in the morning. You know, my routine, JC. I check Twitter out. Some dumbass lady glued herself to the court at the Timberwolves game last night. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. That would have made me laugh.
She was protesting. I thought you would have seen that. And I don't know if she did it like during a TV timeout or what, but they showed a picture of her with her hands glued to the court, and she was protesting something about, I don't know if it's their current owner or their old owner of the Wolves. He was like, had something killing like farm animals or something. I don't know. Yeah. But it was bizarre. You'll have to Google it.
They're everywhere.
Maybe somebody else knows about it.
They're everywhere.
There's some crazy people out there.
Stay in your bubble, QB, because they're everywhere. The Black Ghost.
All right. So Gator tomorrow night. JC, are you going to the Orange and Blue game, JC?
I'm not going to attend. I've got other.
Are you going to stream it online?
I might do something like that. Yeah.
On the SEC Network plug.
Yeah, I might look at that. Are you going?
Or that's what you do. You stream it on your computer or however you do the streaming, and then you turn down the volume and listen to the great call on the radio.
Well, there's no question about that. I want to do that during the year anyway, as you know, QB. But I think you know, the Orange and Blue game is fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be lively. It's going to have a lot of energy, and it's a great thing. And in 2 weeks, nobody's going to remember anything about it. So we'll see. Hopefully, well, maybe that's wrong. Maybe they will, but it really is meaningless in terms of what we're going to see in August, I would think. But I could be completely off base there too. QB, you know, I do like though, but I have to say I do like this Thursday night deal. I think that, you know, I know they had 50,000 fans at Nebraska on a Saturday, but what else are you going to do in Lincoln on Saturday? And I know that, you know, some of these other schools have these big attendance figures. What do you think the attendance will be for a Thursday night spring game? Just throw a number out there, 20,000, 25,000, 30. What do you think?
How many tomorrow night?
Yeah, 10,
I'm
5.
gonna say 30,000.
30,000. Wow, that'd be almost half the stadium. So that would be quite quite an event for them.
If you plan to go, folks, remember we had Johnny Townsend on last week. He will be set up his Johnny Townsend Foundation tailgate there for children's cancer at Shands. Make sure you stop by. A bunch of former players will be there, right there by Gator Walk. We got a couple of Facebook Lives before we get to our golf picks, JC.
Okay. All right.
People are asking about Ben Hill Griffin's donations. I don't know if that was, but I don't know the answer to that, because we brought up, it basically said yesterday that what Hugh donated was the biggest gift ever to Gator Boosters. So, not sure. Rick asked, JC, what kind of fan are you that skips the game? Rick, JC is not a Gator fan, remember? David says on Facebook,
I wouldn't go to hold on. I wouldn't go to the Alabama game either. Okay, I wouldn't go to that either if I was asked. I mean, good God, I couldn't think of a bigger, more boring. Go on, move along. Sorry, move along. I wouldn't go to the Alabama.
David says maybe JC can glue himself to the field to protest NIL. You're not protesting NIL. I am.
Yeah, I mean, I think QB needs to start gluing himself to things, start protesting.
No, I don't care enough about that. I just don't believe in it.
I don't either. My God. I mean, this is for people who are making money doing this to figure out. Okay, we're just talking about it, QB. Although you might be making millions right now. You might be making millions right now doing the podcast and the play-by-play.
Why wouldn't I be?
Sure.
Okay, JC, let's get to our Peachland Dentistry, Gator Nation's #1 choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte and surrounding areas. Visit them at peachlanddental.com. It's time for JC and the QB's golf picks. Would you like to pick the NBA game tonight?
Yeah, sure. But first of all, speaking
since we still don't understand what's going on.
Yeah. Speaking of golf, before we get to the picks real quick, I'll take the Hawks, by the way, and I'll take the Spurs. But speaking of the golf, I got word on the street, and this is exciting news, that the Hawkstone member guest might have a guest from Gainesville playing in it that we are watching right now on our podcast. So that would be
we'll see. You know how I despise Crowstone, so
yeah, you seem really excited about it. But I heard,
I'm jumping for joy. Okay, JC, I'm gonna let you pick first for the Harbor Town.
What if we're in the same
Heritage?
What if we're in the same flight, QB, and we get after it in the same flight? Wouldn't that be fun?
You think I could care less? I don't know how any of that works. All right, so who's your first pick?
I can't wait. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to go with a guy who's been struggling lately, and I don't really know why, but I think he's about to turn it around with some of these secondary vets, and that's Patrick Cantley. I don't know. He hasn't really been a factor, and he's one of the best putters on the tour, and I think he'll turn it around. It's a tight course. This is in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. The RBC Heritage is this is the one where they get the jacket, and it's the plaid, red and green jacket. I mean, it's really cool. And they get the big sword or helmet or whatever it is when they win it. And I think Pat Cantley is going to keep the ball in the fairway, but his putting is going to get him through this weekend, and maybe he'll be a factor. So give me him.
Yeah, I'm going to take the best driver of the golf ball on tour, Kevin Kisner.
That's a good one.
Pick, don't you?
Yeah, I do like that pick a lot. This course he could play very well in this course. I mean, it's a tight one. This is one of the tighter courses on the tour. All right, with that, give me Justin Thomas, only because I think his game is about ready to turn it up here as we get ready for the PGA. Isn't the PGA in May now? They moved it from August to May, right?
Yeah, you're taking a lot of chalk, JC. A lot of the top players in the world you're taking.
Well, no, I'm going to get you a name. I'm going to get you a name here.
Give me the Canadian Corey Connors.
That's a good pick. Good pick. Yeah, you kind of stole that one from me. I was thinking about him hard. I really like his game. Very nondescript. It's just very easy. All right, I'm going to give you a name here that maybe you won't say I'm taking chalk. Give me Cameron Tringali. Cameron Tringali, ranked 55th in the world, QB.
All right, where's this guy ranked? But this is the kind of guy that somehow wins these type of tournaments. He played well in the Sunday round at Augusta. Russell Henley.
Yeah, Russell Henley. Yeah, I mean, he's his name.
Do I have two Georgia Bulldogs on my roster? Isn't Russell Henley a Georgia Bulldog?
Yeah, of course he is. Why, of course he is. They're all Georgia Bulldogs, QB. I mean, who is the coach of the Georgia golf team? Do you have any idea?
I couldn't tell you if he walked in my house.
I know. And yet there they are pumping out these players. Russell Henley is world rank number 42. So he's in the top 50 in the world. I like the pick, though. He finished +5 at the Masters, which is very respectable considering, were you surprised at how hard it played, QB? I guess the wind really had everything to do with that.
Where Augusta?
Yeah.
I mean, it should play hard. It's an easy golf course, but it's a short golf course that you can get a lot of birdies. So I wish they would grow rough, and I love when the wind blows. It didn't blow hard enough on Sunday, but
Sunday. All right.
It was very fun to watch. All right, JC.
All right. Well, we'll see who the
Make sure you tune in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for the orange and blue game.
Oh, sure. Yeah. We'll have lots to say there. I can't wait to hear you. It's just my heart is beating, and certainly these spring games are. I don't know what we'll see out of it, but maybe
mesmerizing. They're mesmerizing.
Maybe something exciting will come out of this. I'm not sure, but I just know that Florida's going to have to get busy. I think
Jason,
we'll find
real quick before I let you go. You're not a member of the Gainesville Quarterback Club, are you?
I was, but I ceased the membership.
Because I want to say Coach Napier spoke there last night.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the coach there, but I have not been a member here in a year. No.
Okay, well, I just wanted to know what you thought of Coach Napier's speech, but you weren't there, so you can't let us know.
No, I was not. But I think I'm sure it was great. Listen, this guy's going to be given the time he needs. Hopefully he'll be able to find the players they need, because they're going to need some if I listen to guys like you. So we'll see what they can do about it. I don't.
John says he's taking the Tallahassee boy, Hudson Swafford. Is Hudson Swafford the one where the club head flew off on 13? Did you see that?
No, but I heard about it.
You didn't see it? Okay, so the guy, I want to say it was Hudson Swafford. The TV camera's on him. I want to say this was on Saturday, maybe it was Friday. He's hitting his approach shot from about 200 yards on 13, the greatest hole in golf, the prettiest hole in golf, 13. Right at impact, the head flies off into the creek to the left, and his ball still gets on the green.
Wow.
It was PXG. I don't think Charlie says it was Zalatoris. Maybe it was. Anyway, he's picking Zalatoris. But anyway, I've never seen. I mean, I've had that happen to me, but I've never seen it happen to a tour player. So anyway, all right, JC. Go cheer for your Celtics. We'll talk to you soon.
We'll see how that does. All right, see you Friday, boys.
That's JC. Join us on the Tight Number Hotline. Going to come back. We'll be joined by Trent Whittemore with the weekly Word with Whit. You're watching and listening to Pot Up Matthews in the Morning.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, won't back down. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Great Clips, it's gonna be great. Our Gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Celebration Point Town Center, South State Bank, Chris Doring Mortgage, Silverback Concrete Co. Some of our touchdown sponsors are MB Listing, McDonald's of Gainesville, My IT Masters, Gainesville Neon and Signs, 84 Lumber, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Avera and Smith, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, Ruse Ogra Agent, State Farm Insurance, Silver Cube Billiards and Sports Bar. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit potupwithshane.com and click the Advertise button. Again, thank you to all the great businesses that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure you follow us and support the businesses that support us.
What's
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another edition of Weekly Word with Whit. As you can see, I'm riding solo this week. Wanted to give y'all an opportunity to ask me some questions personally, and a lot of y'all did that. And I can't thank y'all enough for y'all's support and just interacting with me in the show. So I'll get into a couple things about myself and get to y'all's questions. And again, I appreciate y'all just your support of the show and making this thing go. So I'm from Gainesville, born and raised, as many of you know. Whole family was born here in Gainesville, at least all my brothers. My mom's from Jacksonville, Illinois, actually. It's a small town near Springfield in central Illinois. My dad is from Belglade, but went to high school here before playing at UCF. And then my parents met. My mom actually played volleyball here at the University of Florida, and they've been in Gainesville ever since, actually. I attended Buell's High School, played football and basketball there. Definitely some of my best memories. Played for my dad, with my brother. Those were some great times. Like I've already mentioned my family. My brother, Luke, was before me. He was 2 years older than me. He played football at Troy. He's actually just hung it up. He had a great career up there. He's now, looking to get into the work world. I've got two younger brothers, Creed, who's being recruited by just about everybody right now. He's a really big time player. And then Andrew is a sixth grader. He likes to play QB and play golf. So he's a lot better at golf than I am. Routinely beats me on the course to the point where I don't like to play him. So if that tells you anything. My dad, like I said, is still the coach at Buell's High School and doing a great job over there. I figured I'd give y'all some of my favorite moments. I know I asked a lot of guys who came on the show their favorite moments as being a Gator. We've covered a whole bunch of them just with the people I've had on the show, but some ones that jump out are obviously the Auburn win at home. That was my redshirt year, but it was such a cool weekend. The swamp was rocking. I think for me, obviously, first TD was South Carolina, my redshirt freshman year at home. Only disappointing fact was it was the COVID year, so obviously there weren't a lot of people in the stadium, but just a great moment. Dreams come true. Being able to catch a TD in the swamp, that was really cool. Playing in the SEC championship was huge. It's just really a blessing, all these things that I've gotten to do here at UF. Like I said, they're just all a blessing, all the experiences. I'd say Bama was another one, just at home, to see the swamp like that. Being a kid from Gainesville, I can remember when I was little and, all the way till being in college, a lot of games at the swamp, and I just felt like that was an atmosphere that was either the best or arguably the best that we've had since I've been a part, or either as a fan or as a player. So that was really cool, even though we couldn't quite come out on top. I know we'll have more opportunities to do that. So those are just a couple of my favorite moments. Another cool thing is just seeing a lot of guys I know get drafted, KP and Trask and a whole bunch of other guys, obviously like that entire receiver class. When I was a redshirt, Freddie, J-Ham, Tyree, and Van are all still in the league, which is just unbelievable. I mean, I don't know of any other guys that have done that, four guys that came in together. I know Van transferred in, but that we're all seniors together and then all went to the league. That was unreal to see, and something that, I aspire to with some other guys on the team, mirror something like that. It's just unreal. With that, I'm going to get to a couple of y'all's questions. I really appreciate y'all. The first one here is, what was the hardest part of playing for your dad in high school? I think the hardest part would be just kind of maybe not button heads, but becoming maybe a bit irritated at times when he was really getting on me. He was good about just drawing everything out of me from my potential. I think at times I was tired of him riding me or getting mad at me for little things, but in the end, he knew the type of player that I could be, and he was able to get a lot of that ability out of me and onto the field. So if I'm being honest, there's all great memories of playing for my dad, something that I'll remember for the rest of my life. So it could be tough at times, but I wouldn't want it any other way as far as that goes. Here's a couple good ones. If forced to choose dove, duck, or quail hunting, which one? I've actually never quail hunted, although Luke Matthews does a little work on a ranch where maybe one day I'll be able to get out there and do a little quail hunting. But I'd go with duck there. I grew up duck hunting with my dad and my uncle, and we still try to get out there and do some to this day. I've actually started to hunt the coast with some of my friends in college, which I didn't do growing up. I would do all either flooded timber, wood duck hunts, or open water, fresh water. So duck hunting is definitely something that I enjoy and don't get a lot of time to do it just because of football, but when I can, I get out there and it's a whole bunch of fun. Jamie Johnson or Chris Stapleton? This is a good one. I'll go with Chris Stapleton. Obviously Tennessee Whiskey is a great song. It's got some others. Honestly, I think his hits are a little better. He's just really talented. Chick-fil-A or the Field? A little halftime question. I think I'll go with the Field there. I'm a huge Golden Arches guy. Always been a McDonald's guy. It's a great restaurant. You can do just about any meal there. You can do breakfast, you can do lunch, you can do dinner. It's going to be fantastic. Always tastes the same. Maybe not the highest of quality, but if I'm eating fast food, I'm not going for high quality. I'm going for a certain taste, and McDonald's has my taste. So I'll go with McDonald's there. Those were from Ryan E. Appreciate you, Ryan. Here's a couple from Jim. These kind of sound like they're from a certain Jim Aggart, who was my granddad. So if it is Jim Aggart, love you, Grandpa. Let's see here. Hey, Trent, what was your most exciting moments playing high school basketball? High school basketball was a great time. I just miss basketball in general sometimes. Like I said, played basketball in high school. Really came up through like middle school, kind of having hoop dreams, if I'm being honest. Didn't really think I was going to play college football until I was in high school. But let's see. A couple big scoring games. I remember I had one versus Vanguard my sophomore year where I scored a whole bunch. And then my junior year, a couple more high 30s type games that are just memorable. I mean, when you score the ball, you're gonna remember that stuff. But other games that are memorable are I'm trying to think. Me and my brother, he played through his senior year. So when I was a sophomore and he was a senior, we were able to combine for some big ones. I remember we beat Eastside at home my sophomore year, and actually Luke had some really big buckets in that one to kind of seal the game. So that's a really good memory, just a crosstown game, and me and my brother hooping together. It's great stuff. The next question is most memorable times playing high school football with your brother Luke. I mean, everything was memorable back from those couple years. We were a really good team. One of those seasons we actually had Coach Shane calling ball plays for us. It was just a great time. He was playing mostly offense. I was playing mostly defense, but we had a ton of comeback wins. We played in a really tough district with a lot of guys who went on to play college ball, but I can just think of numerous games. I mean, beating GHS, a crosstown rival, beating Bartram Trail, several others. Oak Leaf, another team from Jacksonville that we came back and beat. One year I think we came back and beat like 6 teams. We kept going down and coming back and winning, but those are just unreal memories for me. Even playing in front of 90,000, 100,000 great fans. I'm sure y'all who are listening to the show are a part of that 90,000 that flood Ben Hill. But playing high school football, I don't think anything will ever beat that. I think a lot of guys who even come on the show, teammates, would agree. It's just a special time in your life playing high school football with either your brother or friends that you grew up with. Just a special bond for sure. Here's another last question here. When you complete your football career, what would your eventual dream job be in the media world? That's a good question. I'm actually a sport management major. at the moment. I'm about to graduate though, and then in the fall I'll actually start communications masters. I've really enjoyed the opportunity to work with Shane on the show, and he's really helped me out there, and I think communication is something that I would like to get into. My mom actually works for ESPN and calls volleyball games, color, and she really enjoys that, and it's good work, and I think that I could see myself getting into calling some football games for anybody who would hire. So that's something that is kind of a dream job of mine. I'm open to a lot of things. Not positive what I want to do yet, but that's definitely crossed my mind. And as far as the media world goes, I mean, I don't think there's anything else that's a lot better than that than calling football games. So that would be a huge thing for me, and I would really enjoy that if I ever got the opportunity. Like I said, I really appreciate everybody's questions. As the semester comes to an end here, I'll be taking some time off of Weekly Word. I don't know if I'll continue Weekly Word or try to join the show in some other capacity. But like I said, I've been blessed. I just want to thank Shane Matthews for allowing me to do this past semester. Like I said, he's been great to me and giving me a lot of opportunity. I want to thank y'all for just interacting with the show, interacting with me on social media. It's just really a fun deal to be able to interact with such a great fan base and hear y'all's questions and answer y'all's questions, and then obviously have the opportunity to bring on teammates who can tell a little bit about themselves. Y'all can ask questions. It's just, like I said, it's just been a really cool opportunity. So I want to thank y'all. Hopefully I'll be back interacting with y'all soon. If y'all would just continue to stay with me on social media. I'm not always timely with my posts, but whatever I get going here in the future, I'm going to put it out there. And if I get interaction from y'all like I did with this, that'll drive it. And like I said, I just can't appreciate y'all enough for interacting with the show all semester and just being supportive. So with that, Weekly Word signing off for the last time this semester. Go Gators as always.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, won't back down. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Great Clips, it's gonna be great. Our Gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Celebration Point Town Center, South State Bank, Chris Doring Mortgage, Silverback Concrete Co. Some of our touchdown sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union, Adams Rib Company, Doreen Wiebe Realtor, Caldwell Banker, MM Parish, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Okito America, Style Cuts, Big Mills Cheesesteaks. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit potupwithshane.com and click the Advertise button. Again, thank you to all the great businesses that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure you follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Football legend Emmitt Smith understands your joint pain.
It does not surprise me that there are a ton of people out there that's in pain.
That's why Emmitt is such a proponent of QC Kinetics, offering real lasting joint pain relief with non-surgical, all-natural biologic treatments.
Whether it's a joint pain, ankle pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, hip pain, any kind of pain, the body eventually will break down when it's under that much stress.
That stress can cloud your judgment to the point that you'll just say yes to the scalpel or yes to another prescription of pain pills. But maybe it's time for a second opinion from QC Kinetics.
The reason why I would recommend this is because the natural biologics that QC Kinetics is providing you gives your body a chance to naturally heal itself.
Restorative, regenerative solutions are here. Get lasting relief and live your life.
Call QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Celebration points where the Gators go to celebrate. With premium brands like Dave & Buster's, Bass Pro Shops, Hotel Indigo, Medici's, Escapology, Kilwin's, and the HBC's restaurant, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, where you can get 50% off a bottle of wine every Wednesday. That's the night, folks. Go get you a few bottles of wine. We'll see you at Celebration Point, where the Gators go to celebrate. I want to thank JC for joining us on the Titan Memorial Hotline, and also Trent Whittemore, wide receiver for the Gators, for his weekly word with Whit. We'll have him in some capacity once the season starts. I'll tell you this. In my opinion, and I haven't seen everybody on the team, but he's the best athlete that the Gators have. I didn't say the most athletic. I said the best athlete. There's a difference. He's a guy who can do everything well. Doesn't mean he can jump the highest or run the fastest. That's what athletic is, in my opinion. Athlete is one who can do a lot of different things very well. Comes from a great family. But he will be successful no matter what. So we wish him a lot of success. He can stay healthy all year long. That'll be crucial for the Gators to have success. This Day in Sports brought to you by our good friends at Comfort Tim. Comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise. Comfort Tim's hiring team members with all levels of experience, $1,000 signing bonus for qualified positions. Pick up the phone and give them a call, 352-376-2366. This Day in Sports 2019, Greg Popovich surpasses Lenny Wilkens to become the all-time winningest coach in the NBA history with his 1,413th win as San Antonio Spurs beat the Denver Nuggets 101-96 in the Western Conference playoffs. Speaking of the playoffs, they continue tonight for the play-in games that I'm still confused as heck about. But at least this gives us something to watch in the meantime we have baseball you can watch, but that gets pretty boring as well in Major League. So anyway, don't forget Chris Doring Mortgage. They do mortgage lending right, helping home buyers throughout Gainesville and North Central Florida. Call Chris Doring Mortgage today at 352-244-0840. Speaking of Doring, I'm pretty sure he's the color analyst for the SEC Network Plus game for our game tomorrow night. I don't know who he's doing that with, but make sure you tune in there. And John has a question here before we get out of here on Facebook Live, brought to you by Melton Law. What's the name of the quail ranch your son works at, looking for some to go to? I don't know if it's, it's funny. I don't even know the name of it. What is the name of it? But yeah, he works out there doing all kinds of stuff. I'll get the name for you. I'm embarrassed I don't know that. I know the name of my buddy's property out there. It's called Rocky Oak, but that's not the name of the ranch. Dan says Dan Orlovsky from ESPN just picked Lawrence as the second-year QB to make the Super Bowl. He's picking the Jags to make the Super Bowl, Dan? I will tell you this. The Jags, man, they've made some good moves. They're going to be a much improved team under Doug Peterson. I can promise you that. So we'll see. One more Facebook Live brought to you by Melton Law. This comes from Andy. He says, did you see that Arch Manning is seriously considering Virginia? I guess all the Manning women went. There ain't no way. He's just doing that he is going to be either a Texas Longhorn, an Alabama boy, or a Georgia Bulldog. And right now, there are pictures at some Masters parties of Peyton hanging out with Kirby Smart and Luke Bryan. I think Arch Manning will end up going to Georgia. Initially, I thought he would go to Alabama, but I think he's going to end up going to Georgia, quite honestly. There's no way he goes to Virginia. He'll go to Ole Miss way before he goes to Virginia, but I don't even think Ole Miss is in the mix. But yeah, I did see that. Dan says, not this year, but next new QB to make it. I could see that. I did see somebody sent me yesterday. I don't know whose mock draft it was. They had Malik Willis going as the second pick to the Detroit Lions. Wouldn't that be something? Typical Lions taking him. I don't see it. I don't see Malik Willis being a success in the National Football League. I could be 100% wrong, but there's no way. There's no way, in my opinion. But we shall see. Anyway, hope you enjoyed today's program. We'll break down a little bit more of the spring game, what you can break down tomorrow with Brett Beard, talking a little college football. We'll also talk a little high school sports with Mike Rideout baseball and softball, high school, pretty much mid-season right now, kind of winding down. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's program. Be safe out there, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.